Hey everyone, it's Kayla, and today we are going to be discussing A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. If you've never heard of Sarah J. Maas, she's writing, because it's not complete, but the Throne of Glass series. It's going to be 6 books, and 5 of them are out right now. And then she's also writing A Court of Thorns and Roses, which, if I think my information is correct, it was originally going to be 3 books, but now it's going to be 6. Yeah, it's just awesome. There are 2 A Court of Thorn and Roses series books out right now, and so you can go ahead and jump on that train if you haven't already and not be too behind. Even if you haven't jumped on the Throne of Glass train and you're going to be really behind, still do it. Like, I promise, you'll breeze through the books in like a month tops. This book is sort of a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. We have a main character named Feyre, and this book also has a pronunciation guide in the back of it, which is really awesome. But Feyre and her family used to be really wealthy, and then her mom dies, and then her dad, years later, is in such debt and can't pay back his creditors that they lose all their fortune, and he gets beaten up to where he can't go and get a job. And Feyre kind of takes on the responsibility to look after her family after she promises her mom that she would see after that they were all okay. She starts hunting for her family, and there's a fairy realm and a human place, and if you kill a fairy, you're held responsible for it. And while she's hunting, she may or may not kill a fairy. We don't know if it turns out to be a fairy yet, but then we have to see what consequences come with that when she finds out it actually is a fairy. And she's taken to the fairy realm to live with a High Lord, which is the kings of the fairyland. If that appeals to you, I definitely read this book. Even if it doesn't appeal to you, you want to read it, okay? It is so fantastic. I always love her books. Sarah J. Maas is amazing, and the writing is just beautiful, and it really grasps you, and it's just awesome. So I am going to get into the spoiler part of the book right now, so if you haven't read it, go ahead and leave. Bye now. But if you have read it, stay and we'll discuss it together. So, the curse. Okay, so, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to begin with this book. I loved it, and I really like Feyre and Tamlin. I don't like how Rysand comes in and is trying to sort of steal Tamlin's girl. I feel like that's what's going on. And even though Rysand kind of showed his true colors at the end when all he wanted was to just get rid of that girl, Aramantha, get out of here, we don't want you. I don't understand why when he came into the dungeon to get Feyre to make that oath, the tattoo oath thing with him, when she didn't, he twisted her arm to hurt her more. And I know it's because he needed that bargain. They needed that lifeline together, but why? Oh, why did he do that? Maybe it was just to make her more desperate, but if she doesn't want to do it, then she doesn't want to do it. She can just die, and she'll come to you when she does want to make a vow. I really thought that the masks that they all got stuck with was a really nice touch. I really thought that was kind of cool how they did that, and then at the end they could kind of take them off. I just thought it'd be really beautiful to see that, and I thought it was really cool whenever Tamlin kissed Feyre's eyelids and she got to see everyone in their fae forms, and we get to just watch as she slowly gets more comfortable with the fairies and actually enjoys living there rather than wanting to go back home. I was a little annoyed because Feyre would not get that her family was taken care of. After he said it, she's like, okay, my vow to my mom has been complete. But then she keep going back to okay, but no, I need to leave and see them. Even though it's obvious she's super happy living with Tamlin and Lucien, but she just kept wanting to go back, and it was really frustrating me because I'm how many times do you have to say it? And then when she finally does go back, because we've got this whole Aramantha curse hanging, she is oh wow, they actually are taken care of. Wow, I need to get back to Tamlin ASAP. I was really sad at that part whenever Tamlin sent her off, and 3 days till the curse was over, and she didn't say I love you back to him, and she's oh, I just make it harder on him. But girl, you need to self-proclaim yourself and tell him that you love him, and the curse could have been broken, and then we wouldn't have had to go through this whole Aramantha mess. I really loved the banter between Feyre and Tamlin at first. Feyre is just so sassy and so sarcastic. It was really fun to read, and it made me laugh out loud so many times. And Lucien and Tamlin together are so funny. I really like Lucien's character. If Feyre wasn't with Tamlin, I'd honestly want her to be with Lucian, even though I think his mate was killed, if I remember correctly. But I still really liked their whole connection, and I really like Alice, her maid. It really reminds me of the Selection series. America, the bond that she had with her maids was really like, it reminded me of the bond that Feyre had with Alice. Okay, so let's talk about the actual trials now. I felt like the trials in Aramantha's court that Feyre agreed to do really reminded me of the Dauntless initiation in Divergent, going through fear simulations. Like, just, it seemed like the worst thing that Feyre could have to endure, and it really reminded me of that. Whenever she had to do that worm thing, oh my goodness, I just kept picturing whenever, like, the Blackthorns, or yeah, was it the Blackthorn? I think it was the Blackthorns and the Infernal Devices series when the dad turns into like a weird worm, like demon thing. That's just what I kept seeing, and it was disgusting. And I couldn't even, like, yuck. The third one to have to kill those two Fae, like, it's such a hard decision. I can't even, like, imagine being in that spot. Like, you could free all these people, but you're gonna have to kill two. And it's gonna eat her up. It's gonna be like Katniss in the Hunger Games all over again, like all this stuff. But then we find out that the third person is Tamlin, and Feyre is so smart. Like, just remembering how they said he may have a heart of stone, and he actually did. And I was wondering, is that something that the curse did that they were under, or was that like all High Lords have hearts of stones, or no? Or was it like as soon as she plunged it in, like, it became regular hard again, and then, like, when the curse was over? I don't know. The second trial, the one where she had to read for Lucian, I loved, though, when Rysand, like, would make her hand go back. And honestly, like, compared to the first one, I was like, okay, she has to read a riddle. And I know it's her and, like, Lucian's life on the line. But I was like, really? And then the third one, like, compared to the first, like, physical trial, I was like, okay, it's not, like, nearly as bad, but, I mean, it has more repercussions. But I was just kind of like, really? She just has to pull a lever and then it's over? What? And then Aramantha turns it on Feyre and is like, okay, well, I never said when the curse would be over if you did the trials. And so y'all are going to be here infinitely and I'm going to kill you. And then, of course, she says the answer, which is love, to the riddle that Aramantha had given her. And honestly, the whole time I was thinking death. Like, I don't know why, but I'm like, death is the answer. Because look, okay, for though each of my strikes lands a powerful blow, when I kill I do it slow. I mean, death can do that. But scorned I become a difficult beast to defeat. Some people hate death and it's hard to defeat death. But I bless all who brave enough to dare. I mean, maybe death, I don't know. But anyway, it was love and she said it, and then of course everyone else gets free, but Aramantha is like trying to kill her. Each of the High Fae Lords give her like a drop of their magic so that she can come alive again. And then at the end of this book, Rysand is standing there and he's talking to her, and he feels like a tug, and then he vanishes. And I want to know what that is. So why, like, it looks like not it looks like, but the way it was described, his face sort of like went into shock, and we don't know what's happening and why he like felt like something was like pulling him back, and he just vanishes. So I'm wondering if maybe he had some sort of bond to Aramantha, like that was part of the deal, and he like got called back to her, maybe she's still alive, or I don't know what else it could be. But I'm really interested to find out why he just sort of like vanished like mid-sentence. But I'm really excited to see what happens in book 2. Obviously the conflict is not all over. Even though Aramantha's dead, something's gotta happen. There's gotta be something else going on. And so I'm excited to find out what that is, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this book review. If you did, go down and give it a thumbs up, and then tell me what you thought of the book below, and we can just discuss this together. It'd be really fun, but I hope that everyone has a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye!